Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen September 2023 update. What's going on with Star Citizen this month? What are we going to be covering on the channel? All of that sort of jazz. Firstly though, who won the giveaway for the Crusader Mercury Star Runner for August? That was Andorian Engel. We may have to have rules for I have to be able to pronounce the name for you to win in the future. But this time, congratulations! For September, we have a new giveaway for a Drake Corsair. This versatile exploration ship will allow you and a small crew to seek adventure in the stars. It's a great mission running ship, allowing you to taste a little bit of everything in the verse, sort of truly a multi-crew, multi-role ship. To be in for a chance of winning that, just comment on any of my videos made during September. Full details of that can be found in the description below. So, what's going on this month? Star Citizen Alpha 3.20. That's a big part of this month. It should be released by the end of the month to live. We're currently in Wave 2 PTU, although we might have actually gone out to 2 more waves of PTU by the time you see this video. It's very possible that they're going to be releasing Wave 3 and 4 this weekend. That means more people in the testing pool. You're also going to see lots of updates to that PTU build. They're pumping out the sort of fixes and the updates and tweaks there. Arena Commander and experimental modes. They are a huge part of this patch. So Arena Commander, obviously they're trying to revive that more arcadey, quicker, more easily accessible sort of set of modes. Experimental modes there as well. Lots and lots of different interesting modes there, like a tank battle. You can play gun game where you've got different guns, and every time you get a kill, you get a different gun. There's a big update to Pirate Swarm. AI have been changed a lot better as well. In the Persistent Universe, there's the Hull C, Seraphim Station, which replaces Port Olisar. There's cargo updates and some gameplay and mission updates. There's a reasonable amount of content for the Persistent Universe, a little bit lighter than normal. Obviously, the big focus here is Arena Commander and those experimental modes, but also, for me, big part of it is Master Mode testing. So Master Modes, the new sort of flight and combat mechanics, are being tested as part of the experimental modes in Arena Commander. This is only in the Gladius, so that's partly because it's a key ship in Squadron 42, but also because they want feedback based on small focused set of data, if you see what I mean. A lot of data, but very focused. We will be covering that patch and new gameplay throughout the month. Now that the Master Modes have also had a bit of an update to them as well, because at the early PTU sort of phase, you couldn't aim properly because there was no UI elements for aiming in your pips, but now they've added that, they've fixed that. You'll see Zin and I trying out those Master Modes, giving you opinions on them in Vandal Swarm. I will say now, Master Modes are great for you are sort of engaged in combat. I am engaged in combat. I am going to have to fight my way out of this. It's going to be quite hard to run because obviously the difference between SCM, which is your combat mode, effectively, which gives you shields and weapons and all that sort of stuff, but you can only go up to your SCM speeds and maybe a little bit above that with Afterburner, versus Nav mode, which allows you to basically go into cruise speeds, but also quantum travel and all that sort of stuff. Your escape mode would be Nav mode, but your shields and weapons go down. So it makes you so vulnerable. And I like that change. I like the fact that dogfighting now takes place within those SCM speeds, because you can't go above those speeds because then your weapons don't work. It's going to feel slower to some people, but I actually sort of think it's going to be a net improvement, and you're going to be able to see the ships you're fighting a lot better. There's a lot more that's going to be more visually compelling, and you can use cover a lot more. You'll actually be able to aim at people's components. Not that people can't do that already. I'm just saying that there's a much more interesting, there's still a huge top skill ceiling there, but the skill floor has been brought up a little bit as well, making you feel like you're a better pilot. Sort of, for me, it's the Titanfall 2 effect, where you feel like a badass running around in your Titan, even if you're bad at game. Now, other things that are going on. Ship Showdown, that's gone on to its sort of, it's still Phase 2, but it's really Phase 3. It's the Elite 8, so the top 16 most sort of popular-ish ships that are flyable in-game have now been whittled down to the Elite 8. So this is the Arrow, Redeemer, Vulture, Terrapin, Corsair, Constellation Andromeda, 600i Cutter. Basically, people voting on them each day, going, I like this ship more than this ship, and that will go down to the top 4. The top 4 will get some flair and skins and stuff made for them later in the year that people that own those ships will get for free, and the winner of that competition will also be available for a free fly for a whole month. But there's a free fly going on now until the 8th of September with those top 8 ships. So anyone can try Star Citizen for free during that time. everyone has access to those ships, whether they're new to Star Citizen or not. You want to go to the Free Fly page, which I'll link down below, and basically click Free Fly, and then you get access to all of that sort of stuff. If you don't have a Star Citizen account yet, because you will need one of those, there's links down below to that as well. You'll get some Alpha UEC, some of the in-game currency for using my link. There is also a ship sale on with the 16 Showdown ships and 24 months insurance on those ships as well. There's thankfully some discounter starter packs for sale. The Drake Cutter and the C8X Pisces with 25% off. Those give you everything you need to play Star Citizen, and you can upgrade them later if you want. Be sure to vote in each round of the Ship Showdown every day. I think it changes at like 4 or 5 p.m. UTC. The road to CitizenCon. So, CitizenCon, the biggest event of the year for Star Citizen stuff. Depending on how you measure it, like, it might not be the biggest sales event. Those are things like the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo or Fleet Week, which are also pretty massive events each year. But CitizenCon is sort of like the hype event, the place where you get all your development info. There's loads of reveals there, and it's the road to CitizenCon at the moment, which is not a good thing. So I'll explain to you very briefly. The road to CitizenCon basically means that things like Inside Star Citizen Live, the monthly reports, the roadmap stuff suffers a little bit because they're holding stuff back for CitizenCon. They don't want to reveal certain things. So we get a little bit less development information, but it is getting ready for that sort of hype event with CitizenCon. We know, according to the recent Bar Citizen Shanghai, there's going to be a lot of Alpha 4.0 stuff at CitizenCon. You can expect pyro and server meshing stuff, jump pointy things probably. I'm also expecting some stuff on bounty hunting and Squadron 42 as well, probably going to be highlights, along with like pillars of the game and the sort of larger scale roadmap moving forward. There's going to be a huge amount of stuff beyond that. It is a 2-day event, the first physical event since 2019 on the 21st and 22nd of October. It's going to be live streamed free. We will be covering that in loads of different ways, and we'll be sort of making a video on each of the presentations and all that sort of jazz. Now, are we going to get something awesome in the forms of a gameplay demo? Quite possibly, but Cloud Imperium sort of need to show what they've got functional in game and go, look, Pyro is coming out really soon. This is actually it sort of playable now. This isn't a tech demo anymore. This is stuff that's going to be in your hands. They can have some tech demo stuff there as well, for sure. But for me, what I want to see is something that is sort of functional and look, this is gameplay that you're going to have in your hands potentially later this year, early next year. It's working. It's all sort of good. This is actually going to be in game rather than examples of missions or whatever. Now, I'm okay for a little bit of the other, for sure. But yeah, I want to see some good progress, especially if they're sort of holding stuff back. And I felt like we've had a bit of a drought for content from Cloud Imperium coming out and sort of patches and that sort of stuff over the last few months. There's also going to be the Fight or Flight tournament at CitizenCon, so 8 teams are actually fighting it out over this weekend to then become the top 4 teams, which then will be going to CitizenCon to battle out. So these are 2v2 dogfights. Basically, the competitors choose from predetermined fighters with loadouts already predetermined. And then at CitizenCon, this might actually be really interesting because obviously Alpha 3.20, the Arena Commander updates there should make this a lot more watchable and interesting and fun. And are they going to be running that tournament in master mode tests, or are they going to be running it sort of like just normal 3.20? It'll be interesting to see. If you want to follow along, you can check out the Fight or Flight website or Atmo Esports Twitch channel. I'll link those down below. An event I believe we will see later in September is Pirate Week, probably the week of the 18th of September. So last year there was a screenshot competition. They incentivized you to play Pirate Swarm to get the ability to buy a Pirate Gladius and Pirate Caterpillar. There were pirate ship skins and pirate ships on sale. They were running events like the Ninetales Lockdown and Siege of Orison, so you can expect some of that. Beyond all that, we will be covering all of the stuff that you expect throughout the month as well. So the monthly reports, which should be coming out next week. Roadmap updates, we get them every 2 weeks. We'll probably see more updates to Alpha 3.20.x there, so part of the 3.20 branch, but not 3.20's initial release. The reason we probably won't see anything beyond that is because of the road to CitizenCon at the moment, as I've talked about earlier. Inside Star Citizen Live summaries, we'll be getting that. Again, road to CitizenCon. We're still getting some good bits there. There's certainly going to be some interesting bits and bobs. Any news and dev responses as they come out, we'll cover. Anything that's newsworthy, even in drama, we'll cover. Also, Starfield's kind of out if you've bought the expensive early access edition, but it will be out properly on like Game Pass and more readily on the 6th of September. Do you want to see Starfield on the channel at all? And if so, what? Streams, a review, comparisons? I mean, I think it's going to be fun. I'm going to be playing it. I'm likely to play through it once. Sort of like Mass Effect, like I played it through once. But obviously it's got a lot more exploration. It's not just Mass Effect. It's, you know, Oblivion or Skyrim in space, right? But it's got spaceship combat. I'm not overly keen to add it to the channel or anything. We're not a Starfield or single-player game or non-Star Citizen channel. It's Star Citizen adjacent, because I do think it's a gateway game to Star Citizen for people that want to sort of play an MMO. Obviously, Starfield being single-player and not having that sort of Star Citizen experience that players might want. But it ticks a lot of the same boxes as Star Citizen for people that are hungry for a space exploration game. That said, there's going to be a million other channels covering that game. Some other bits and bobs. I've recently come off my keto diet, and I'm eating all of the things again, although I'm sort of doing a reasonable amount of running and exercising, so I feel okay, and we'll see if it becomes a problem. Also, my back. I had a terrible back problem and neck problem. That's mostly gone now. I'd say I'm literally 98% better, and I'm aware that if I do something stupid, my back will hurt again. Game-wise, I've recently completed my first playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. Absolutely loved that game. There were some issues with it, with me and my playthrough, with sort of the romance just sort of going, I want to romance you. No, whoa. That sort of breaks my immersion when I'm being overly romanced by some characters that I haven't even flirted with. And I had some problems with like scenes not triggering properly. But other than that, absolutely amazing game. Some of the boss fights, especially when one of them is singing like a Disney villain, amazing, highly recommended game. I'm currently playing Dave the Diver and Tiny Tina's Wonderland. I'm playing Tiny Tina's Wonderland with Zin and her partner. It's okay. It's no Borderlands 2, which was fantastic, but it's okay. Dave the Diver, absolutely superb game. The game that keeps on giving is what Zin described it as. Yeah, it's a little bit of cook serve delicious, a little bit of exploration in the water. It's a load of comedy, loads of boss fights, loads of resource collection, but it's all constantly interesting and doesn't feel boring, doesn't feel repetitive. Well, maybe a little bit repetitive sometimes if you want to play it that way. I am going to be playing Starfield on Games Pass. Reviews are exactly what I expected. Some have rated it as the best game of all time 100%, which I think is ridiculous. And some have rated it sort of like 5 out of 10, which I also think is ridiculous. The sort of reviews I was looking at and thought they were pretty reasonable were between 7.5 and 8.5. 8.5 is probably what I expected from Starfield, because I do think it's overhyped, but I think that it's still going to have a huge amount of quite fun gameplay, because it is going to be Skyrim in space, and it's going to have a load of refinement beyond what Skyrim had, a decade ago. Oh, I just checked on Google, it was 12 years ago. But I'll be playing that once I've completed either Tiny Tina's or Dave the Diver, and from the 6th of September, because then it's free on Game Pass. Well, not free, it's part of your subscription, I suppose, on Game Pass. Then, after I've completed Starfield, I'm going to probably go back and do a second playthrough of Cyberpunk, because I haven't played Cyberpunk since its release, and obviously it's been hugely updated since then. Though I also think Payday 3 is coming out later this month, and I'm really looking forward to that. Zin and I love stealthing missions and that. We played that a lot. Boom! That's it for your September update and what we're expecting to see throughout the month. I'm really interested to know, are you playing in Star Citizen Alpha PTU in Wave 2, or have you played it at all? Have you tried out Master Mode since they've added the ability to aim properly? Who are you rooting for in the ship Showdown? The road to CitizenCon. Are you excited for CitizenCon coming in October? It's soon. I think it's like 7 weeks away. What do you think they're going to be showing there? Also, do you think we'll see the Fury LX? Because that's supposed to be coming out in summer, which would suggest it's coming out as part of 3.20 or 3.20.x. Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. NordVPN is amazing and you should buy it. It's so useful, it's easier to tell you what it can't do. NordVPN can't do your taxes. Nord, how much do I owe for VAT? NordVPN can't help you buy more spaceships. Nord, add a terrapin to my shopping cart. NordVPN can't cook for you. No, my cabbages! And NordVPN can't be your girlfriend. Can't or won't NordVPN, if that is your real name. NordVPN.com/BoredGamer will help you connect to the internet more safely, securely, and anonymously, with greater access to the content you want. But can I teach it to love? Links below for the best NordVPN deals around. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and for September, that's for the Drake Corsair, that fantastic exploration ship. Not only will you be able to explore the verse with it, but the ship is perfectly competent at a huge range of gameplay, and is a fantastic mission-running ship. You can use it for cargo, you can put some vehicles in there. it's reasonably good in a fight, one of the true multi-role, multi-crew ships. To be in for a chance of winning one of those, just comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details down below. Also down below are links to be able to support the channel more. There's the join button, making you one of my elite channel members. You'll get occasional exclusive content. There's also YouTube badges and emotes to show your support. There's also Patreon for those of you that prefer that. We try to mirror the rewards on there as well. But just people liking, subscribing and sharing these videos goes a long way. A heartfelt thank you to everyone that watched the video. I hope you have a great September and I'll see you in the verse.